It's Thursday morning here in eastern Ukraine, and my team and I are on the way to Mariupol, a Black Sea port where there's been some violence overnight. But first of all, we've had to stop on the road to do a two-way, that's a radio interview with the Today programme. So I've got my headphones on. Here's the computer, which we use to get up the signal. We've actually got a backup here called a BGAN. Here's the team. It's Eleanor and Abdu Jalil. And there are our drivers over there. And so we're the team for today. We're primarily doing radio. We're also going to do a bit of TV and video, and we'll see what we find in Mariupol. It's a long straight road to Mariupol. The sign says 72 kilometers away. We've arrived in Mariupol, where there was an attack last night, and with all these other reporters, we're checking out the aftermath of the attack. I just want to show you this Jeep. It's got smashed up. You can see all the broken glass here. Look at all that. And we're told it lasted about 5 hours, the attack on this base, pro-Russians attacked the base. Here's Abdu Jalil, our cameraman. Where is he? This one here. Trying to record the scene for our TV pictures. And here's Eleanor Montague, our radio producer. She's interviewing one of the local people here. What Eleanor's doing throughout the day is making sure she gets enough audio material, radio material that we can use for programs on Radio 4 and on 5 Live and on World Service. And my role is essentially to be the reporter, to gather in all the TV footage filmed by Abdu Jalil and all the radio material recorded by Eleanor, and then to write words to go with their sounds and pictures, and then we'll send all that on the internet, on our computers, to the BBC in London. We've stopped, and Abdu Jalil and Eleanor are now listening intently to the interviews they carried out. The interviews are in Russian, and they're both Russian speakers, so they're listening incredibly closely to make sure that the translations we do are entirely accurate. It takes a lot of time to get that right. It's coming up to 3 o'clock local time to do a couple of interviews with radio programs in London. This city shows just how hard things are for authorities in Kiev. This week they've yet to take back the state of things they lost to pro-Russian occupiers. And now, here, they're having to spend their time defending the buildings they've still got. A little earlier, I went to that Interior Ministry base, which was attacked last night for several hours by a pro-Russian crowd. The gates there are broken. A Jeep has been smashed up. The interviews are done, and we're now driving because we've heard rumour that a government building here, another one here, might be raided. We're not quite sure, but the only way to find out is to check, and that's what you end up doing a lot of times on days like this. You end up pursuing rumours, things you might have heard, because sometimes you might get to the right place. Sometimes it might turn out to be nothing, but you can't just ignore it. You've got to go and check it out. We've just arrived here, but we can't see evidence of any new building being stormed. But what's interesting, I just want to show you, if we're walking over here, this building, this one here, was overtaken by protesters several days ago, and it's still occupied by those pro-Russian protesters. And they've got their barricades with tires. And we came out here a few days ago to do some interviews, but it's just worth having another look at it now and seeing that it's still under pro-Russian control. Well, we've all just swapped roles. Abdu Jalil needs to film a piece to camera, a segment for the BBC's Uzbek service, so I've taken his camera and I'm going to attempt to film it for him. He's a little bit out of luck because I'm not a professional cameraman, but I'll see what I can do.
Biz Mariupol shahrini hukumat binosining oldidamiz. O'zgartirib turuvchilar, namoyishchilar eshikni kirishni oqlarga to'sib qo'yishgan. Ularning talablari.
We're on our way back to Donetsk now. We've still got an awful lot to do. We've got to write an online piece, do some more radio editing. Eleanor, how do you feel things have gone?
I think we're pretty well today. We've managed to deliver for all the major morning and lunchtime outlets, which is part of the job, and gather material on one of the top stories of the day. So.
Same again tomorrow?
Hope so.